Hi, hello. Welcome to the Televised Podcast. My name is Anna. I am going to be reviewing, recapping, and just generally talking excitedly about this upcoming season of Supergirl on this podcast. And then also I am going to be doing some individual episodes where I do some kind of like deep dives into stuff about film and TV. I'm kind of excited. I have an upcoming episode planned about how the Pitch Perfect franchise has impacted the film industry, and then also how the CW's LGBT representation has changed over time, and especially since the whole Lexa thing. But I thought, what better way to start this podcast than with going over everything that we found out at San Diego Comic-Con and leading up to San Diego Comic-Con, and just going over all of that, and then also doing a trailer breakdown because that was insane. I had many breakdowns about the trailer, but we're gonna not have that kind of breakdown. We're just gonna break it down in terms of what happened in the trailer, and then I also have some theories that I'm kind of excited to get into. And I would love to hear all of your guys' theories about anything to do with Supergirl with the upcoming season, what you think is going to happen between Kara and Lena. I know that's what I'm really looking forward to. Maybe what you think of the new suit. So let's get into it. Before San Diego Comic-Con even happened, we found out quite a few things. One, Andrea Brooks, aka Eve Tessmacher, is a series regular, which I'm so excited about. I love Andrea. She just brings something so magical to the cast. She's such an amazing addition. And also I love Eve. I love Eve. That storyline last season when she turned on Lena, I was so surprised, and it was such a great scene. And then also one of my favorite moments was Lena and Eve's fight on the plane. That was insane. And then also I love the ending cliffhanger with Eve with Leviathan, which I'm going to get into later. I loved that scene. That was so amazing. Such a really, really, really fun twist that I did not see coming at all. Like, I was twisted out at the end of the season 4 finale. I was done. I thought we were all done, but we weren't. It just kept going and going and going. And, but yeah, so I'm really excited to see that she's going to stick around full time. So that's going to be really, really awesome. I'm really excited to see what'll happen. Like if she hangs around National City, like if she's going to run away, what is going to happen, if she's going to try and maybe like make it up to Lena and try to explain now that, everybody knows that, or, everybody knew that Lex was dead at one point, but everybody thinks Lex is dead currently. So I'm just really curious to see what's going to happen with her. I'm really excited. And I think Andrea just knocks it out of the park every time. So I'm excited. More exciting casting news, Jeremy Jordan. He's returning for 3 episodes in 5B. I'm torn about this because as much as I watch old episodes and I'm like, oh, I miss Wynn. But then I watch new episodes and I'm like, damn, I don't miss Wynn because we have Brainy. And I think he's kind of like the better version of Wynn, like of the Wynn kind of character. Because Wynn was always the nerdy best friend, IT guy, like that's who he was. And Brainy is that, but he's like 1,000 times better and funnier, more well-rounded character. But I'm really intrigued to see what Wynn brings when he returns because, he's been in the future with Mon-El and, the rest of the Legion. I don't know. Obviously it has to have something to do with Crisis. Obviously it has to. But I'm so curious to see what is going to happen. Maybe Crisis impacts the timeline later down and Wynn comes to try to figure out what's going on with them. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very intrigued. I'm really intrigued that he's only going to be around for 3 episodes, that they're going to do a little mini arc for him. So I think that's cool. It's cool that we can get him back without kind of having him back for the whole time. And then speaking of Crisis, we got some more news about Crisis. 2 Supermen, Hecklin Tyler Hoechlin, who personally, he is my favorite Superman. I love him. I love his Superman. He's the sweetest guy in the whole world. I was lucky enough to meet him at a con this past year, and he's just, he's so sweet, and he's so funny, and he cares so much about Supergirl. Like, with the way that he talked about Melissa and about how she handles herself as Supergirl, and how he just loves to watch and to come and enrich Kara's story on this show was just amazing, and I'm so excited to see him come back again. I love it when he comes back. He's just such a great character. But then the other Superman that we're seeing is Brandon Routh, which is going to be really interesting because I'm intrigued to see how they do that, because if he's playing a Superman from a different universe, then what about Adam? Like, what about his character on Legends? Like, what about him in other universes? So I really genuinely think that everybody is just going to be doing like quadruple duty on these characters, and it's just going to be really interesting how it all plays out. Another instance of casting is that James Olsen is leaving the show. I don't know how to feel. I'm a bit torn. I'm a little bit relieved in a way, because I think over the past couple of seasons his storyline has been a little bit boring for me, a little bit like it felt like the writers didn't know what to do with him, especially this past season, especially when they like gave him powers, and then it was just weird, and they tried to do this PTSD storyline, and I feel like for me it just didn't work, even though they tried so hard to make it work. It didn't. And then also with like him being the like poster child for this like neo-Nazi group basically, and like I don't know, it was just too much. I'm like, you guys really don't know what to do with this man, so just send him to Metropolis. So that's all I hope. I just hope that he goes and hangs out. Oh, maybe he'll go to Argo to hang out with Clark. That would be really fun. That would be fun. But he's leaving at mid-season, so he'll only be around for the first half of the season. Unfortunately, though, that might mean that he'll die in the crisis, and I really don't want that. We don't need the Supergirl writers killing off one of their only characters of color. We don't need it. You know, as much as I've kind of grown to dislike James a bit, I just don't want to see him die. Seeing him die in Crisis on Earth X was already bad enough. At Comic-Con, Mehcad Brooks did say that it is a very graceful exit that is handled very well. That's all I can hope for. I think we'll all definitely miss his presence on the show, because that means that literally only Melissa, Kyler, and David are the only original characters left. Everybody else has either left or has all come in later seasons. Like Lena came in season 2, Brainy season 3, Nia season 4, Eve season 2. Like, all of these characters are brand new, so we only have 3 original cast members left, which is really sad. But it's kind of like Legends, where they only have 3 original cast members left as well. And then there was some more casting news unveiled at the panel. We are getting a new owner of Catco, Andrea Rojas. She's going to be played by Julie Gonzalo, and she's described as, quote, a polished businesswoman and heir to a Central American tech empire who is now making a hostile advance into the world of media. Unapologetic and unafraid to make waves, she also holds a mystical secret. I'm very intrigued by this character. I have heard rumblings and theories among the Supergirl fans. She will have powers this season, but I don't know if she's supposed to be a hero or a villain, because this description, and then also in the trailer a bit, makes her seem like one of the big bads of the season, which is very intriguing, considering that we have Leviathan to worry about. So I'm just curious about what is going to happen with Andrea, with Catco, especially because Lena, like, selling it basically under Kara's feet without telling her, that's huge. Like, that's terrifying, first of all, for Supercorp. But secondly, that's huge change of like landscape, I guess, for all of Catco, because this is what, the like 3rd time that Catco's changed hands, or the 2nd time. Another new character that is joining the cast is William Day. He's a new reporter for Catco. He's worked with Andrea before, and I guess he'll make Kara question if she wants to still be at Catco, which, that's terrifying. Like, a character that, like, makes Kara even question wanting to, like, stay at this organization, at this media outlet that she loves so dearly. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want this. I don't like this guy. It's a quote, "On the surface, he's a cynic and a sellout who looks down on Kara's earnest idealism. Day's not interested in making friends. He just wants to get the story, but his ties to the criminal underworld could prove problematic." And now this is a character that was made up for the show. So there's no, like, comic reference here, apparently, even though Supergirl Rebirth did have Kara have this, like, guy friend that she worked with at Catco. I really don't think that this guy is anything like him. Originally, when, like, some of the casting videos were coming out, people were theorizing that that was going to be him, but I really don't think it's him. At the panel, Jessica Queller described William as a foil for Kara. I hope that doesn't translate to a love interest for Kara. I'm sick of Kara getting love interests that are just, like, terrible people, but they're like, it's opposites attract, you know? But that doesn't work when it's like one person's a good person and the other person's a terrible person. Like, that's not how it be. Opposites attract is like, I like rap music and you like country music. Like, that's something that's what that means. Not, I hate your earnest idealism and Kara hates his cynic sellout ways. Like, that's not how it be. That's just not. And then also we found out, obviously, Lex would be coming back to the show. You know, we saw at the end of the show, or at the end of the season 4 finale, that the Monitor brought him back, so he's obviously going to have a huge part in Crisis, which is terrifying. And then also another piece of casting news is that Jesse Rath, who plays Brainiac 5, his real-life sister, Megan Rath, is going to be joining the show as female Brainiac 5. Now, I'm very curious as to what that means, because that either means that it's going to be a whole different character, like a second Brainiac 5, or it's going to be, because technically, like, Brainy is techno-organic. Like, can't he technically, like, take any shape he wants with his image inducer from L-Corp? So what if Brainy is gender fluid and they cast Jesse's sister, like, to make it the most believable as a female version of Jesse, which would be so interesting. That would be the first gender fluid character that I know of on the CW, which is huge for them. But then also, that would have a lot of implications about Nia's sexuality as well. So I'm really intrigued about that. I really do hope it's the latter, but I really don't know what to expect with that casting news. I really wasn't sure what to do with it. I was like, that either means A, we get 2 Brainies, or B, we get the unknowing terror of whether or not they can write this gender fluid character in a good way. But you know what? Nicole Maines is there. I think she'll help. I think she's a really good consultant, because Nia was handled so well this past season. I think she's a great consultant. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but I genuinely think that would be a really cool idea, to have Brainy kind of explore his identity, maybe even use, like, gender neutral pronouns. That would just be really interesting. Like, that would be something so, I think, unprecedented for this show. Like, I never would have thought that we would venture outside of the LGBT, like, just those 4 letters part of the community, you know? So to get into the Q+ part is cool. That would be really awesome. But I also don't want to get my hopes up, because in case that it's not, I am still very excited about Megan Rath coming on. I love Brainy. The more Brainy we have, the better. A female Brainy, even better. So I'm excited no matter what. So now I want to talk about the trailer, because that was insane. So the trailer starts out with Kara doing a monologue, basically. It's talking about how, you know, the happenings of last season. Baker gets impeached, you know, kind of like a fun little sizzle reel of all the craziness that happened. And then she starts talking about how people have been using technology as an escape in National City, and about how people are distant from each other. She's like, what happened to regular old human connection? What happened to looking each other in the eye? And she kind of implies that it is dangerous, the direction that National City is going in with its technology. Basically technology fear-mongering. It is very Black Mirror. But the montage that they play of just like people on their phones is a bit ridiculous. Because I fully understand, more human connection, but it's also the same kind of tired, like old baby boomer, like talking down on us. Put your phone away. Look at me. Have a conversation. So that's interesting as a part of the kind of danger sizzle reel of like, oh, people are trying to escape from this reality. And they're like, this is why. Here's all the crazy shit that's happened over the past couple of years. But the fact that they included Indigo makes me very curious, because out of all of the season 1 villains, they pick her. Maybe she'll pop up again in Crisis, or maybe even like the actress, because the actress who played Indigo played Supergirl in Smallville. Maybe she'll show up and play Supergirl from Another Earth. Like, that would be really cool. That would be a fun little Easter egg to have planted way ahead of time. And then also we see White Martians, Kara fighting White Martians. Maybe that was a hint at Magan. And maybe I'm looking too deep into this, but I don't know. I kind of took those as like some fun little Easter eggs of characters that maybe we'll see again. Maybe we'll see them again. Who knows? And then we get to Lena, and she says, I trust in technology, not people. People are governed by feelings. And then she lists some feelings like anger, fear, sadness, all kinds of stuff like that. And she does this wild thing with her eyeballs that is insane. She activates her technology contacts, and we have Morgana with blue eyes instead of the gold from Merlin. And it's amazing. I'm really, 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 really excited about this. I think that this is so cool. I'm going to get into my theory about it in a second. I'm just going to break down the rest of the trailer first, but I love that. And then they showed Alex and Kelly kissing when she said governed by feelings. That was very fun, very cool little Easter egg drop. Like, hey, remember? They kissed. How could I forget? They do, bam, Leviathan is coming. And then it's Andrea. And then she does this like shaky breath that is so good. It is so good. That was like the most tense moment in the trailer when Eve took that shaky breath and the music is not there. I can't imagine what that was like when you were in the hall and like everybody is quiet and then it's just like the shaky breath and it's like this. It's such that was like the most fear-inducing moment for me of the trailer. Like, I know she said all that stuff about technology, whatever, like Lena did her funky eye thing, like whatever. That moment where you see Eve, who literally was in love with the most dangerous psychopath in the world, scared for her life. Like, that's insane to me. I'm so excited about that. And then we have a little bit of info given to us by Andrea Rojas herself. She talks about Obsidian Tech, which is interesting, which is who I assume is responsible for the funky contacts. And then we have some crazy, crazy shit happen where Lena says, I don't want to kill Supergirl. I just want her to experience the same hurt she inflicted on me. There's a shot of Kara and Lena, and they're both crying, and Kara's not wearing her glasses. And mind you, the first time that I saw that, I didn't even notice that Kara wasn't wearing her glasses because I was so upset about both of them crying. But they're both crying, and Kara's not wearing her glasses, and then Kara is crying. I think one of the hardest times I've ever seen Kara cry. Like, she cried really, really hard about Alex and about Krypton and about Lena. And like, that's it. That was awesome. Like, that was such a cool moment to see. And then Lena walks away and they're in the same outfits of the day of filming when they were filming what we assume was the Pulitzer Award ceremony for Kara winning the Pulitzer for that piece that she did on Lex Luthor. I'm really intrigued if maybe either did Kara decide either before or after she won her Pulitzer to reveal her identity to Lena, or did Lena say, Kara, take off your glasses? And then Kara does it. And then that's it. I don't know which one it is, and it's kind of killing me. But that was such a good scene. I'm really, really, really excited to see that in context. And then she says, and soon she will. And that is terrifying. And then she punches her in the face. And it was such a good scene. And I'm going to get into that in 1 minute, my theory about that scene. But then we hear an evil laugh of who I could only assume was Lex. So that's fun. As if we're not sick of him, but he's the best villain I think that Supergirl's ever had, so I'm really excited to see him back. Oh, and then they have the fun reveal of the new suit, which looks incredible. We've been asking for pants forever at the con. All the cast was just like, pants, 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 pants. And I don't blame them, because I love that. I love pants. I love Supergirl in pants. The suit looks amazing. I love all of the gold details. I love the little shoulder detail. That's amazing, where it kind of like hangs down on her shoulder and it's this little gold kind of section. I love that they kept a lot of the red kind of detailing on the suit. I love the new little clasps for the cape. The little gold clasps. I love that because it's very reminiscent of Tyler Hoechlin's Superman suit, which is really cool. There is one thing though that I question about the suit. This one little gold bit that's like right on her neck, on her clavicle kind of area. And I wonder, one, what is it? Because in all the pictures, you can't really see what it is. Some people have kind of theorized that it kind of looks like a pilot's badge or something like that. I don't really know what it is. I have no idea, but it's very interesting. It's definitely going to make it hard to believe that she's hiding the suit under regular clothes. So I wonder if she's going to have like, because the Flash now, he has his little Flash ring that has his Flash suit in it. I wonder if she's gonna get something like that, or like some kind of little thing to like have her suit in. That would be very cool. Maybe it has something to do with that gold thing, because honestly, like Kara straight up could not wear like any of those dresses that she's been wearing lately, especially with the pants, because obviously no skirt. And then also, I think if she wore like a button-up shirt, she'd have to have her shirt buttoned like literally all the way up to the collar. So that, I don't know, I'm really intrigued to see how they do it, because obviously every season you have to have at least one shirt rip, because that is such an iconic thing. So I'm really intrigued to see how they do it this year, because I feel like this suit is definitely going to make it a whole lot harder in terms of logistics for that. So that was it. That's my recap and trailer breakdown. But now let's get into my theories. Before I really thought too much about it, I was thinking, hey, what if Kara just let Lena knock her down? Because otherwise, Lena would be punching what is basically like a steel wall, and she would break her hand and Kara wouldn't move. Like, that is just how reality works. But then I was like, well, what if they're not in reality? And that is what other people started thinking as well. I don't know who exactly like posted about it for the first time, but I guess kind of the general consensus now in the fandom is that the contacts that Lena is using in the trailer, those crazy contacts, are VR contacts. And Lena goes into a virtual world in order to confront Kara and take out her anger on Kara, because she physically like cannot do it in the real world. Either she can't do it because she doesn't want to hurt Kara's feelings, or like she just doesn't want to accept the fate or like break kind of what they have, because, you know, as far as we know, Kara still hasn't told Lena, so she thinks Lena's none the wiser. So maybe Lena just kind of wants things to stay the same for a bit because she's just so fragile. So we all think that Lena either helped to create this technology, or is like putting money into it. Because if she sold Catco to Andrea Rojas, I feel like she has a connection to her. Because I think as much as she hates Kara right now, or as much as she just doesn't like Kara right now, I don't think she would want to give her company, like Kara's like favorite thing in the world, to somebody that she doesn't know and trust. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if she really wanted to get back at Kara, she would sell Catco to Morgan Edge. So the fact that she sells it to Andrea Rojas makes me think that Lena knows her, or has worked with her before, or just like trusts her in general. So I think that that's also probably why Lena is very keen on using this technology, these contacts, these what we assume are VR contacts, virtual reality contacts. I assume that maybe she just really trusts who created them. But also, Lena said a quote last season in the plane that said, "People make mistakes, my technology does not." I think that quote was probably a clue into this season about, what she's doing with her technology. So maybe she did partner with Obsidian to make this technology. And that would really suck for my next theory, because I think that Obsidian has the capacity to mind control people with their VR contacts. It's because all of these people are putting these contacts into their eyes and then maybe being brainwashed to do or say or whatever Obsidian wants them to do. And in the trailer, Andrea is quoted saying, "I'm gonna get Obsidian tech in every household all over America." Like, that is a whole big group of people to have mind controlled. And I think that is the best way to please both sides of fandom. As Kevin Smith said this weekend, he said there are two sides of fandom. One side that's like, let's see her go Lex, and the other side that's like, let's see them kiss. And I think that pleases both of them, because then if Lena, quote unquote, goes evil, it's her being controlled by Obsidian. So then she's not actually evil. She's just being mind controlled. But we still have these images of Lena being evil. Or maybe we don't know at first that she's being mind controlled. All that kind of stuff like that. It would please the people who want to see Lena go evil, but then it would also please the people who don't, because in the end, she's not evil. She's not an evil person. She's just being mind controlled. So I think that would be really, really interesting if they went that direction. Because, like I said, it would be making everybody happy, I think. And then also, Melissa Benoist, she said that this season could probably be described as the fight for Lena's soul. And so that makes me think that Lena, again, is being mind controlled into doing maybe bad things. And Kara literally needs to go in to this VR and save Lena's soul from being corrupted by Obsidian and all the things it's making Lena do, especially because she's in such a weak emotional state. She is so vulnerable. She's so unbelievably vulnerable right now. She lost every friend that she had made in 3 years in 1 second. And so I think she's the perfect candidate for this mind control thing. But that's just that, again, this is all just me theorizing. Don't take any words that I say as fact, except if I said that somebody, was saying it at Comic-Con or whatever. Another thing about the mind control. There were set pictures released of Kara and Alex fist fighting. Maybe Alex goes into this virtual world and takes out her anger on Kara, or Kara takes out her anger on Alex in this virtual world or whatever. Whatever may happen. But I cannot imagine in the real world the Danvers sisters fighting when they're both in their right minds. So what if Alex is being mind controlled from the jump? Because of these contacts or because of Obsidian tech or whatever. I just think that's really, really interesting. Especially because Katie McGrath at Comic-Con, she said that they're still filming episode 1, even though they're on, they're getting to episode 3. So that means that they're still filming scenes from episode 1 while simultaneously filming 2 and 3. Now, why would episode 1 take a whole month to film? The only reason that I could think of is because they need to film so much extra content for all of these alternate virtual realities that everybody's in. That takes a whole lot of time. That takes so much time. So I can imagine if you're filming a bunch of Lena, and that doesn't mean that they'll use every single minute, but if they wanted to do some kind of montage or something of Lena being in this virtual reality, or other characters doing it, they need a whole bunch of footage of that. So I can imagine why it would take so long to make this episode if that's what they're doing, which is really exciting for me, at least, because that means that we might get to look inside of like all of these characters' minds and see where they're at and what they want and what they like kind of fantasize about in a way, and like what they would do if they really didn't have any barriers on life or on reality, because this is all virtual. Like, it's just gonna go away when you just snap your fingers or whatever. So I'm really intrigued about that, about why they're still filming and, you know, what that could mean for episode 1. So I have one last theory that I wanted to talk about, and that has to do with Linda Lee, aka Russian Kara, aka Rara, aka Red Daughter, whatever you want to call her. I have had this theory since the end of the finale, essentially, when Kara absorbed Linda. She absorbed her. It was very strange. But I have a feeling that there are going to be remnants of Linda inside of Kara, like inside her mind, because yes, they were both Kara basically, but Linda was like autonomous for like a year. She created her own memories, she created her own life, and then when you try to put the two halves back together, they don't exactly match up anymore. So I feel like Kara's just gonna have these like remnants of Linda. Like, maybe she's super fond of The Great Gatsby all of a sudden, or she finds herself even more infatuated with Lena than she already, you know, kind of is. Maybe she looks at a little boy on the street and she thinks about Mikhail. She thinks fondly of him, and then Kara realizes that she has never known a little boy named Mikhail. And I saw this really awesome post on Tumblr by Of Sons and Guns, and it says, is it supposed to be a coincidence that Kara just happened to trade in her skirt now for the spiritual descendant of Red Daughter's suit? And wasn't Red Daughter a bit partial to wigs with bangs? So Red Daughter's soul might have some influence on Kara's post-merging. And that's exactly what I was thinking. But that's such a brilliant point to bring up, with the fact that just now Kara is like losing the skirt after Red Daughter's suit, after Red Daughter made fun of Kara for having that cheerleader skirt, and Red Daughter having that wig, the brunette wig with the bangs, and then Kara gets bangs. Like, I don't know, I just don't think it's a coincidence. I'm really excited to see where they take that. I hope that if they do go down that path, that they actually like have time to develop it and work with that storyline, because it's very, very cool. But I'm a little concerned that they won't, with everything else that's happening this season, with technology, Obsidian, Leviathan, Lena, the crossover, which is massive and huge and is going to change everything. I don't know. So one can only hope that if they go that path of that storyline, that it'll be handled in a really cool way, because I think it has a lot of potential. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up this first episode of Televised. I'm really, really excited about this. This is just something that I'm doing for fun. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. I really, really genuinely just want to have discussions about the show, this show that I love so dearly. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you could share, I guess. I don't know. I'm not like a professional podcaster, so I don't really know what to do. Like, leave a like, subscribe, whatever. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.